Welcome, ladies and gents. It's Jared Anderson fight week. He was due to fight Kossobutski. That was cancelled because Kossobutski was not given a permit to enter the United States. And as a result, Charles Martin is stepping in as a late replacement. The reason I'm bringing this up prior to the little interview with Steve Kim is because we recorded this a couple of weeks ago now, and I mentioned the Kossobutski fight. We don't dwell on it, so the interview is still very much relevant. We talk about Jared Anderson. We talk about another hot American heavyweight prospect in Richard Torrez, an amateur rival of Jared Anderson. So check out the interview, and I hope you guys enjoy. We're seeing two guys who are trying to catapult themselves into the big time, willing to fight each other. Jared Anderson and Kossobutski. That's a fight I certainly welcome. Does it tell us how confident Top Rank are about Jared Anderson and him being willing to take that risk?
Their matchmaking staff know when to pull the trigger better than anybody. There's a lot of good matchmaking staffs out there. None is better than Top Rank. You look at their track record for 35, 40 years. They know when to hold them. They know when to fold them. And they have great confidence in Jared Anderson. And they certainly are going to make him one of the pillars of their foundation moving forward, because they are now making the move. This fight's going to be in Toledo, Ohio, because they believe not only are you going to be a real heavyweight, we're going to turn you into a local attraction, regionalize you, and then make you a national commodity. And Jared Anderson is a young man that I've covered, I've interviewed since the beginning of his career. I will say this, and people have to keep this in context. I'm not saying where he ended up, but for the time and place that he came out of the USA boxing program, he's the best pure American heavyweight prospect since Riddick Bowe.
Oh, now, wow. That's huge praise.
Now that does not mean that he's going to have more defenses than Deontay Wilder, who was a champion, made 10 defenses, made lots of money. But if you look at his age and his overall size and skill, you know what's interesting? This was about 3 years ago, just during the bubble of Top Rank, during that pandemic. I asked Jared, so Jared, what other sports did you play in Toledo, Ohio? He stunned me. He said, Steve, I never actually played any organized sports. I said, wait a minute, you never played basketball or football? And he says, no, I've just been a boxer. I might shoot hoops. I may have tossed the football. But he said, Steve, I am a boxer first and foremost, which is rare for the big-time American athlete, because most of our guys that are 6'3", 6'4", over 220 pounds, they're playing American football and they're playing basketball. Okay, so this is really a fighter, first and foremost, which gives him a huge leg up on most of our big men that come out of our country.
Great point. But here's something also that I want to ask you to ponder. Is it possible, if Jared Anderson does beat Kossobutski, who's ranked number 9, I think, with one of the governing bodies, do we risk then seeing him be rushed in the way we saw Anthony Joshua be?
No, they won't. Look, Top Rank knows what they're doing. They're going to position him, and they understand. Usyk's towards the end, right? Fury, depending on what side of the bed, may be retired or going on for 10 years. He's like literally in back-to-back interviews, you'll see, like, I've never seen a guy flip-flop like him, right? Anthony Joshua is wavering. Deontay Wilder can go either way, right? So this is a game of timing. They're going to make this fight as a statement. They had to fight someone credible because they're really trying to sell tickets in Toledo. But I guarantee you this, once they get into the top 10, they're not in a rush to become mandatory. Trust me, Top Rank knows how to kind of time this out so a baton is handed off. So I do not expect him to be rushed. I actually think what Top Rank might do, since they're fighting July 1st, maybe try to stick in another fight or two if possible, because I'm just telling you, they are now going to focus in on certain guys that they like and say, okay, you are the foundation of our company moving forward.
I agree. They are fantastic. They are specialists at what they do.
Yeah.
And it does pose the question as well regarding Richard Torrez Jr., because he's the same age as Jared. He has a win over him in the amateurs. He's more decorated in the amateurs. And he's another one they've got on their books. Do you consider that to be a fight in the future between two guys? Or is Richard Torrez slightly behind despite having more of an amateur?
Here's the problem. He's a colorful character. He's a funny guy. He can draw a little bit out there in Northern California. But size concerns me. I know it's not about size, but size matters at the world-class level because basically everyone's pretty confident.
He doesn't know how to use his size, though. He'll often make himself even smaller to close it.
Look, do I think that he has a future? Yeah, because they're going to handle him well. You have to know what you have. Certain fighters can be put on the Autobahn. The other ones have to be in the very slow lane all the way on the right side of the road. That's the reality. If there's ever going to be a bridger weight that matters, maybe it's Richard Torrez. Maybe what S.P. Gordon and Marvin Camel were to the cruiserweight division, Richard Torrez is to the bridgerweights, if that ever gains any traction. But again, Top Rank is going to start signing, in my view, more heavyweights, because the way the game is so fractured, you better have guys in the fold. You don't sign them as attractions. You sign them up as opponents. And that's one of the issues that Top Rank has had in terms of, like, who do we face Jared Anderson with, is when certain heavyweights that are perfect, problem is they're with the PBC or Matchroom, and they're not getting sacrificed on a Top Rank card.
Yeah, I mean, well, Jalalov as well has been saying now, according to No Sport, that they spoke to Lou DiBella, and that since he won the gold at the IBA championships, he's going to be focusing a lot more now on the pro game too. We know that Lou and Bob can work together too. Yeah. So when you're looking at the future of the heavyweight division, Top Rank do seem to be positioning themselves very, very well.